So I'm gonna try and practice some microphone distance this time, because I usually don't.
Uh,
Like a good
it's
like a good frontman.
yeah, nothing wrong with a little bit of unintentional distortion.
Well, the sad thing is it's like constant.
Like your front man.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Good night.
So, doing Goodnight, Texas tonight. So, I
Oh, so
have
good night's a good way to start off.
I have met these guys. I've met the entire band. Um, they are some of the most down to earth guys. I mean, they gave a street musician $20. He wasn't even playing. He just happened to get
Wow.
invited. He happened to get invited to their show because he was playing one of their songs when their merch guy walked by. I made $20 at their show. No. The two main guys, uh, Pat and Avi, they're the ones that formed it. The name of the band, which Goodnight, Texas, is a real town. They have played there, according to Wikipedia, 3 times
At least three
as
times.
of 2017. But the town of Goodnight, Texas, the midpoint between the locations of their two songwriters. Because one lives in San Francisco, the other in North Carolina. And of course, it's Texas. Texas is the midpoint of everything.
Um, so going from the Golden Triangle to San Francisco, good night must be in the upper part of the Panhandle, like somewhere above Amarillo. I'm curious.
But what do you think I'm pulling up?
Oh,
I have looked this up before. The town of Goodnight.
hey, look, it's somewhere near Amarillo. I said above, but I was,
Amarillo. Been through
just
Amarillo
just
once or twice.
I can't read that and not say Amarillo.
Uh,
I know it's
uh,
supposed to be Amarillo.
in fact, if I'm not mistaken, I drove a truck off the road in a really fucking freak ice storm somewhere around 27 and 70. Maybe it was Tulia. I've more than likely been through Goodnight, Texas. Probably more than once as a child.
Yeah, probably.
Well,
Uh,
we used to
we
we used to take 40 all the way through to Laughlin.
yeah.
And you know how Dad is about the interstate. He'd rather not be on the interstate. So, the town of Goodnight, Texas, just a little bit east of Amarillo, south of Panhandle, which is in the Texas Panhandle.
Oh, there actually is a town called Panhandle. Damn it,
Yes.
Texas. No, no, damn it, Texas is somewhere else.
Um. Oh, hell, where is it? Now I gotta find it.
The fact that you actually know where that is.
I'm looking for something else. There is. I'm gonna have to look it up. Somewhere between Austin and I want to say Lubbock is no, not that. Oh, off.
That's Abilene.
Yeah, there's Waco, so it's further east. And it's a tiny little town. I'm not zoomed in enough, but there is a Dumas, or as a friend of mine said every time we went through, dumbass,
Oh, yes.
dumbass, Texas.
You know, in the 90s, there was this commercial. I can't remember what it was for, but I remember the commercial. Um, Dude's interviewing for a law firm. Mr. Dumbass, I can bring a lot to Dumbass and Dumbass. And he goes through his whole speech. And you turn to the senior lawyer across the other side of the desk. It's Dumas.
Yeah.
Uh, but, you know, because of our family, the phrase "Mr. Dumbass, I can bring a lot to Dumbass and Dumbass"
Yeah.
has stuck with me my entire life. I'm sure you can understand.
So it was just there. There it is. Spicewood, Texas. Been through there. And Willie Nelson has his ranch somewhere in Spicewood.
I really expected you to tell me that there was a Willie Nelson, Texas.
Yeah, it's called Spicewood. it, there is not much to the town of Spicewood. It's really a suburb of Austin. But where Willie Nelson lives, his ranch is right off the road. A friend of
Also,
mine's
Spicewood is totally what I'm calling it from now on.
um, a friend of mine had a realtor down there, and she went to her vet's office, and guess who happened to be sitting there? Willie Nelson. He has horses. So, why don't we jump into some music? All right. Pull that up real
Good way to
quick.
start off.
I do love that song. What was all that?
Did that happen to be the song you were playing when you walked by?
Yes. Yes, that was the song. Because it was a honestly, it was a shitty fucking day. I was having absolutely zero luck. And I was going to play that song and wrap it up. I'd been out for an hour. I had made like $2.
Ooh.
It was threatening.
Yeah, that's always rough.
It was threatening rain or snow. I don't know which. And he happened to walk by and he stopped and he listened to me finish the song. And he goes, "Hey, you know that band? Yeah, it's Goodnight, Texas. You know they're playing like a couple days from now." I'm like, "Yeah, I wish I could go, but I do this for a living." And he goes, "I happen to be their merch guy. I'm gonna text the guys, see if we can get you put on the list." Yeah. Imagine my surprise. Okay. I'm doing a thing real quick. Hopefully I can get some sound. Yeah, oh, it's making noise. I had a couple of them set up, and I don't remember which ones they were now. We just did Bank Robber's Nursery Rhyme, which did not make it into the stream because for some reason my computer said it wasn't going to make any noises. Fun stuff. Love technical difficulties. That's why you lost the
yeah, I lost
share.
Everything.
There it is. So that was Bank Robber's Nursery Rhyme. They did something with Kirk Hammett.
Cool. I did see Metallica mentioned on their wiki there when you had it up.
When Metallica decided they were going to do a second S&M album, Avi actually joined them background. They also did a cover of Wolf and Man for the Metallica charity album. Yeah, we'll do taking your word for it. So this one would be 4 years after the last video. Wanna play an ad? No.
Oh, you got lucky.
That don't happen often.
To a certain extent, I'll be taking your word for it, 'cause it's all I can do. You'll be putting your faith in me, and I'll be placing a bet on you. If it's a sure thing that you want, write a letter to your confidant. Listen to me, child, if you please, so there ain't no guarantees. From side to side, I said my prayers, enjoyed the ride, 'cause there was nothing I could do or say to make that drive a particular way. To a certain extent, I'll be taking your word for it, 'cause it's all I Put your finger in and watch it bleed. Listen to me, child, if you please. Oh, there ain't no guarantees. Gathered up a couple of dollars and I headed for the bar downtown. Stopped at Piggy Young and a Leo up and get us a bottle of brown. Yeah, but Crazy Chester and his four-piece band had her dancing with another man. And there was nothing I could say or do to make sure that she didn't go home with you. And to a certain extent I'll be taking her word for it, 'cause it's all I can do. You'll be putting your faith in me, and I'll be placing a bet on you. If it's a sure thing you think you found, everything comes back around. Listen to me, child, if you please. Oh, there ain't no guarantees. Listen to me, child, if you please. Oh, there ain't no guarantees.
It looked like they were having entirely too much fun.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Wait.
it's hard not to.
It really is. I mean, that song has one hell of a groove to it too.
Yep.
Oh, it's gonna get stuck in your head.
Yep.
And we have Mr. Blue Unicorn with us once again.
I'm gonna be, just messing around on bass like a week from now and
Accidentally that
stumble
one.
upon that. Like, son of a bitch.
What was the name of that fucking song? Let's see. They've got a period where they don't really post a whole lot, at least nothing that I really know. That was 6 years ago.
That happens to everybody.
Well, it wasn't until a few years ago that they hit their stride, thanks to a Netflix show that I've never even cared to watch. That would be a Tiger King. Because one of their songs was featured in that. I'm not seeing that song. We'll end up playing that one later. That one's going to end up being on Pandora. And that would be Hypothermic, which is a great song. Oh, there's Hypothermic, the live version. Oh, this is a good one too.
fearful hands, just in case I never make it back. I left our family weeks ago for battle-stricken lands, and I fear I won't survive the next attack. I fled Rhode Island willingly to join the Union force, understanding I may never know my boys. But this country's strength of government is in a great divorce, and for this I risk my life and all its joys. Well, Sarah, I do understand within my sacrifice goes nearly every joy for you as well. But I hope you sense within my words I've thought about it twice, but our nation casts a fake momentous spell. Oh, Sarah, start a life without me, raise our boys to gentlemen, and thrive until the day you pass away and we can meet again. Understand my inner fight, I didn't choose the war, I sided with democracy, yes, that is what I'm dying for. Oh, Sarah, but my love for you is deathless. Oh, Sarah, my love for you is deathless. Growing up without my father weighed heavy on my brain, and I dread this makes my children dance that waltz. And I'm sure at times your trust was breached and your love for me did wane, but I ask you to forgive me for these faults. And I can't express the irony of the peaceful summer breeze dusting my battalion as they rest. Because within this evening's warmness lies a dark and icy freeze that whispered me to send you this request. Oh, Sarah, start a life without me, raise our boys to gentlemen, and thrive until the day you pass away and we can meet again. Understand my inner fight, I didn't choose the war, I sided with democracy, yes, that is what I'm dying for. Sarah, but my love for you is deathless. Oh, Sarah, it's deathless. I am one of 100,000 paying all that we can pay, standing for an object we can't see. Now raise our children proudly to be gracious for each day, and remind them of the reasons they are free. And if it's true the dead can drift unseen around the loves they had, then I will be the wind upon your cheek. And the darkest moments in your life will never be so bad, 'cause I will be your strength when you are weak. Oh, Sarah, start a life without me, raise our boys to gentlemen, and thrive until the day you pass away and we can meet again. Understand my inner fight, I didn't choose the war, I sided with democracy, yes, that is what I'm dying for. Oh, Sarah, but my love for you is deathless. Oh, Sarah, my love for you is deathless. Oh, Sarah, my love for you is deathless. Oh, Sarah, my love for you is deathless.
That was one of those songs that was great when they played it live. Because he told the sound guys, yeah, go ahead and shut off the mics and everything, the acoustics in this room kind of allow us to do it like this. And he did it. No microphone, no amplifiers. They just...
Exactly like that.
Blue Unicorn. A link that I can post. That particular song or this stream? While I'm waiting on that reply. Oh, he found it. And yes, that would have been a mandolin. This is another good one here. Newer song.
It's hard to take the idol and replace it with the sand. A little bag you cradle tightly in your hand. You carry one, you want the other, and you wonder if you got a quicker hand than fate has dealt you, or maybe not. You used to not have the money, but now you don't have the time. You used to not have the money, but now you don't have the time. When you were young, you were a dreamer with a seatbelt on your bed. Your big adventures laying fallow in your head. You traded everything, you pawned it for a better night of sleep. You pray the Lord your stocks and dividends to keep. You used to not have the money, but now you don't have the time. You used to not have the money, but now you don't have the time. Yeah.
Blue Unicorn. All of the music that you hear tonight will be the same band. It's all Goodnight, Texas tonight. But there's one line in that song that I just love. And it's right at the beginning. Used to be a dreamer with a seatbelt on your bed. I love that line. I don't quite know why, but I do.
Yeah. I mean, that should sort of resonate with us.
So, we'll do one more video, this one being another official video, then we'll swap over to Pandora and kind of jump through their discography a little bit. I play quite a few of their songs, so I'm trying to keep an eye on our time here, because I listen to their entire discography quite a bit. And I mean, these guys probably don't remember who the fuck I am, but I consider them friends. So, this is Among Tumbleweeds. This is an ad.
Since when has your mom been so carefree?
Enjoy the confidence of
She keeps going like that, she's gonna wind up among tumbleweeds.
And no shit.
The moon is rising over her tombstone in the dirt, right above the land where she felt love and bitter hurt. The wind upon the hillside wheels a dry November night. And everyone beside her she had known for all her life. The crosses there are etched with dates so similar and short, just next to the chapel where she prayed and sought support. Diseases came in waves back then till medicine arrived. It took 2/3 muertos, she would climb up on the hill and watch the sunset hit the graveyard like it always will. Among tumbleweeds and yucca flowers is a town of crows on decaying towers. The inheritors, despite our powers, will someday own what once was ours. What once was ours. What once was ours.
Filmed in a town of Goodnight, Texas. I was gonna say, that looks an awful lot like the Texas Panhandle.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pop over here and swap over
Well,
here.
I mean, there is a scene in there where they walked into the Goodnight Cemetery.
Yeah.
So, though granted, in Mammoth Cave Park in Kentucky, there's a Little Hope Cemetery. And I know I have a special place reserved for me, but I couldn't help but crack up a little bit when I saw Little Hope Cemetery because I get that it's supposed to be the Little Hope Cemetery, but it's hard not to read it as Little Hope Cemetery.
Yeah. No, I'm also going to hell, so.
You're not-
So, their first album, which is great, released in 2012. So that would be, I was in high school. That would have been my senior year. I did not find them until much later. But
Oh,
see. Well,
yeah, well, I guess that sounds about right.
yeah.
I was 05, so
Yeah. The math isn't mathing, but I know why. I did start school a year late because Dad decided he wanted to travel around the country.
that would make the math.
Yeah. So, if I'm not mistaken,
You know what's wild? I could have skipped 2 grades and graduated like a decade ahead of you.
I could have skipped a couple grades and actually graduated with people that were my age.
Yeah, fair.
We come from a very intelligent family of dumbasses.
Mr. Dumbass, I can bring a lot to Dumbass and Dumbass.
I'm trying to think of which was the first one that I heard by these, but it might have been Submarines. Submarines is a good one. We'll start there.
stood too close and I burned my face by the bright firelight. Burned my face by the bright firelight.
That's one of my favorites by Goodnight, Texas.
I like it.
Gonna trade all my dollar bills for a bar of gold, put it in the pocket of my finest jeans. Well, there's taking your word for it. Two Can Carry was actually the first one that I started playing by these guys. And I still play it on occasion. Yeah, we'll go ahead and play that one off this album.
I'm gonna run away to duck and carry, make camp where the land is bare. I'm gonna run away to duck and carry, ain't no one gonna find me there. Ain't no one gonna find me there. Found trouble in the town I come from, left 6 months ago or so. I had to run from the man I wronged there, with no aim as to where to go. And I'm told that the law ain't there yet, and the ones who tried are dead. But if the lawmen come to find me, I'll make that river red. I'll make that river red. Gonna run away to Tucumcari, kick dust up the riverbed, and in the shadow of the Spanish fortress, I'll lay my weary head. To an Indian girl I'll marry, on a calico horse we'll ride. I won't leave until I'm dead and buried, with the silver in the mountainside. Shadow of the Spanish fortress, I'll lay my weary head. To an Indian girl I'll marry, on a calico horse we'll ride. I won't leave until I'm dead and buried, with the silver in the mountainside. I'm gonna run away to Tucumcari, make camp where the land is bare. I'm gonna run away to Tucumcari, ain't no one gonna find me.
up at the end of that song that just kind of leads to nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I could, you know, maybe explore that a little more. Um, and hopefully they do that live sometime.
They do.
But
I've heard them do that one.
I would hope so.
That
It's sort of the perfect setup to, you know.
yeah. So jumping ahead 2 years in time, this album came out in 2020, and you can see it. They can't. There's a lot of blue check marks from songs that I've added to my collection so I can listen to them all the time. We're going to go with a Ballad of a Fair Young Lady, because it's been kind of a recent one that I've been on a kick with.
1, 2, 3. Oh, a fair young lady I used to see when walking by. I caught my love from happenstance. Now I rarely catch a glance. I wish that I had known her all the while. Well, I got my courage up on an empty coffee cup when a calling at her door. She let me in at my implore. I listened as she told me of the year when far away she lost her love so dear. She said, my sweetheart in Tennessee built a banjo just for me, made of wood as red as clay, but it hurts my heart to play. He's gone to find his fortune in the hills. I said this continent's too wide for you to spend your life inside. You're much too beautiful, you know, to have no other place to go. She turned her back to me and walked away. I've never cared for banjo anyway.
Yeah, I just recently got the chords for that one. I need to print them out and start working on it.
Yeah,
I
that's a
mean,
good one.
it's a
That
it's a
would busking well.
it's a simple enough song. Key of C minor, but it's pretty much all open chords except for a minor in there somewhere. Yeah, it's all open chords except for a B minor. Or I play it. I would play it all open chords. That's because I've never been all that good at bar chords.
Really?
I taught myself.
Yeah, so did I. Well, and okay, fine. To me, bars are easy.
So my first guitar, one of those shitty fucking Esteban guitars, and it came with DVDs, and I watched probably two of the DVDs, and that guitar was so poorly, had a terrible neck, and all of the songs in the first two DVDs were all open chords.
Mine was and is the Ibanez that's hanging on my bedroom wall, like acoustic Ibanez.
Actually, it's kind of funny because the one I play now is a blonde acoustic Ibanez. I love Ibanez. The Esteban guitar, however, was one of those home shopping network advertisements Dad had watched on TV. I mean, that thing had an action that was like this high. That was not a chording guitar. That was a slide guitar.
Wow.
I
mean, I know you're exaggerating, but wow, that's an intense action.
He was a flamenco guitar player. The only thing I picked up that I still use from those DVDs was the fingerstyle. Somewhat. I don't play flamenco.
Right. That is a huge weak spot of mine.
You don't do fingerstyle?
It. Okay, so the only thing
To the
that
camera, as I'm looking into the camera right now, this was really kind of the whole point of this, was to get into things like this, not just listening to music and getting drunk.
Which I'm sure we do a fair amount of as well.
I
But
do
so
have a
the
glass of
only
whiskey.
thing that I really ever finger pick is the Mars Volta's Asilos Magdalena. And there's no way not to finger pick that. Like you have to. You can't play it with a plectrum.
Most people would just call it a pick. I don't know anyone that calls it a plectrum.
The plectrum.
I know that's the technical name for it.
It's the much more fun name for it. But so yeah, I never. I don't know. Somehow I never got comfortable finger picking.
Like I never got comfortable with bar chords.
Okay, fair. I mean, this is an interesting difference in, different guitar styles and probably influences that we have, right? Most of the things
I am almost positive that you would ask, Grandpa would have paid.
He offered to,
Oh,
and
you know who wouldn't pay for lessons?
uh, okay, that's
Dad,
another difference in our influences.
which is not
you
entirely
know,
true. He did pay for some lessons, but I went in and said, I want to learn guitar, not I want to learn how to play Enter Sandman. I want to learn guitar. And this guitar teacher was entirely unprepared for that answer. I can play the opening riff to Enter Sandman. That's about it. That's the only thing I picked up in those lessons. And I don't really listen to Metallica. I don't want to get sued.
I've always leaned into Megadeth more.
Oh, I can't stand Dave Mustaine. He's such a dickhead.
I'm not saying he's not. Just, I don't know. I've always liked Megadeth more.
Don't tell Mom that. If Mom asks, I am a huge Metallica fan, because I know she is.
If Mom asks, I'm gonna be the kid in that meme picture. Slayer.
So, play a couple more Goodnight Texas songs here. This is another one of theirs that has hell of a groove to it.
All my days end this way. When you work at all, you can't complain. Now I think I see what this is about. You gather the troops, 'cause we're heading out. This town's too cold, much too proud. Take me south, crying out loud. Get dressed, button your collar, and I'll call everyone that you know. Round up every dollar, 'cause if you stay, then nobody's going to go. Oh no. What do you say? We get wise. Take a bottle of bourbon. The fireflies. Keep track of what my investments in. So I've got my money in a tobacco tin. Oh, this town's too cold. Much too proud. So take me south, crying out loud. Get dressed, button your collar,
nobody's going to go. Get dressed, button your collar, and call everyone that you know. Round up every dollar, 'cause if you say that nobody's going to go, oh no.
I have no idea where he went. Oh.
Not too far because I had headphones on.
Oh. Well, you missed me looking over, seeing you not there, going, the fuck did he go?
What I did hear was your comment, and this is what I deal with. So I heard the whole thing.
I see that now. Speaking of Metallica, did I tell you they did something with Kirk Hammett?
You briefly had mentioned that.
Okay, well this is that song.
Ghost of D.B. Cooper. That sounds interesting.
We can play that
I'm all
one.
about some Cooper. Anyway, do Runaways.
Yeah. Be prepared for wah pedal. It's the only song I have heard from these guys that has a wah pedal in it.
Well, Kirk Hammett.
Right?
Never heard a slide guitar with a wah on it, though.
Once upon a winter time, when I was a boy, and fending for myself, and taking some joy in stealing from the shops on the boulevard, I came upon a man who was saying
I did forewarn you about the wah pedal.
Yep.
I saw your reaction during the solo, and there's the wah. I wonder what Kirk Hammett's favorite effect pedal is.
The world may never know.
Damn it, don't make my jokes before I can.
You know what's wild? You know who Kirk Hammett went to high school with?
Top my head. Oh.
As a hint, he also auditioned for the role of bassist in Metallica after Cliff Burton's passing.
Okay, if there's anybody in the comment section, please help me out here, because I have no fucking clue.
This is going to be mind blowing.
It's not Lemmy, is it?
No. That would have been a wild guess.
It really would. I can't think of that many bassists that would actually play in Metallica.
Has anybody else helped you out?
No. You know nobody watches us. Except for Blue Unicorn. And probably Cousin Richard. Hi, guys.
Les Claypool.
That would have been the last guess.
Yeah. So I went to Bonnaroo, one of the four that I've been to, where Super Jam was Les Claypool because he had a set there. Kirk Hammett because Metallica was one of the headliners that year. And most of Gogol Bordello. By the way, the best live show I have ever seen is Gogol Bordello.
Send that to me. We'll put it on the list.
I can absolutely do that.
Okay.
So, at this particular Super Jam, they were delayed by like 2 hours or something. So literally, we've 10,000 people waiting around for 2 hours for Les Claypool, Kirk Hammett, and most of Gogol Bordello because Gogol's plane got delayed leaving Chicago into Nashville. Or
Just a side tangent here. For anyone who doesn't know and isn't watching this, Bonnaroo is a music festival in Tennessee.
right, I probably should have explained that. We
don't really have viewers, like I said. We've got 2 that I know of right now. So you're really good. You're really just talking to me.
yeah, okay, fine. But like as you know, Bonnaroo was like 100 miles away from where we lived.
Yeah.
So, really, that's nowhere to go for a festival, right? That's right next door practically.
It really is, considering the next biggest town to me right now is Sterling, and that's like 50 miles. That'd actually be like me driving back to Fort Collins.
So anyway, Kirk Les comes out eventually, and when he introduces Kirk Hammett, says, I used to buy my weed from Kirk Hammett's father.
That's not surprising. Two other musicians who went to high school together And both of them may end up featuring here on our Music Mondays. Lenny Kravitz and, take a wild guess.
Oh wow. So some off the wall shit like Trent Reznor.
No.
Rob Thomas.
Possible, but no. That is not.
Yeah, I don't know, man. If
Mom
Where
would
did
be
Kravitz grow
very
up? New York?
disappointed.
Okay, so anyway, where did Kravitz grow up? New York?
No.
No, where did he grow up?
He went to high school, I'm going to assume, I would have to look it up, around Los Angeles.
Okay. Yeah, well, fuck, that doesn't narrow it down any.
That narrows it down to all of the musicians in Los Angeles.
I mean, it could have gone to high school with fucking George Lucas at that point. Damn. Well, maybe not George Lucas, but like.
So, one of Mom's
Yeah, okay.
favorite bands. He is a world-renowned guitarist.
Did Kravitz go to school with Slash?
Yes.
Okay.
Not only that, they knew each other, and Slash wrote a song for Lenny Kravitz.
Okay.
It was one of his biggest hits.
Well, it was an American Woman because that's a cover.
That's actually a rather old song, yes. Always on the Run.
Okay.
You know who does the
Do I?
guitar solo in Always on the Run?
I'm willing to bet it's Slash.
It is. Alright, so we started tonight, which, due to technical difficulties, the audience didn't get to hear, a bank robber's nursery rhyme. So we're going to end it with another really good song, A Bank Robber's Nightmare.
Nightmare.
I get so tired from nothing at all, man, I can't hardly sleep. I get so sad about memories I had, and then I can barely weep. And I'm alone. And I'm alone. I had a penny and a nickel and a dime, but that only gets you so far. The night you left, smashed a bottle across my face, left a big and nasty scar. I had $1 and a little bit of change, but that only got me down the street. Miles I walked to where they didn't know my face, did their damage on my feet. And I'm alone. And I'm alone. since then. I always knew you'd make your way back here, I just didn't know the why or when. Ain't you been running or just hiding out too? The things we do to pass the time. I get so sad about nothing at all. Is that the punishment for our crime? We're alone. We're alone. Are we alone? Are we alone? You asked me 20 questions just to hear my voice. I answered every one as if I had a choice. You asked me 20 questions just to hear my voice. I answered every one as if I had a choice.
Not as fun as Bank Robber's Nursery Rhyme.
That's much different experience than Bank Robber's Nursery Rhyme.
So, I'll leave it up to you. We can play Ghost of D.B. Cooper, or call it a night.
I'm intrigued. I like ghosts and I like DB Cooper, so
The spirit rides in
Well,
my Jaguar.
following
The
a
spirit
nightmare
sits
with
in
a
the back
ghost
of the
in
car. And something tells me I should smoke a cigar. With DB Cooper, DB Cooper. The spirit follows me to SEA. The spirit tells me not to disobey. The two of us are going far away. DB Cooper, DB Cooper. I feel the spirit when my house is dark. I feel the spirit out of Seward Park. I feel the spirit like a swimming shark. It's all around me, it's all around me. And when I'm trying to listen to you, I can't focus like the others do. I'm being followed by you know who. DB Cooper, DB Cooper, DB Cooper. Spirit comes when I'm feeling alright. Spirit hides when I seek it at night. The spirit pulls when I least expect. It doesn't think about the way I'm wrecked. The spirit smokes and he pours me gin. The spirit laughs and he gives me a grin. The spirit knows what state I'm in. DB Cooper, DB Cooper. The spirit sees what he's doing to me. The spirit's never gonna set me free. The spirit knows everything I fear. And now he calls me to disappear. The spirit follows me to SEA. The spirit tells me not to disobey.
I
There we
will.
go.
I will say that this being their newest album, this is probably their heaviest album as well,
It would seem that way.
and I'm okay with it. Dry Heat, the first track on this album, also really good. Um, Among Tumbleweeds, we played that one earlier. And I'm gonna have to dive into this a little bit more. The Money or the Time, we played that one earlier too.
Earlier, yeah. No, this seems like it's a real solid album.
So far, it is, which I really enjoy these guys.
Actually, I'm
It
gonna
just-
go mess up my algorithm and throw these guys in there. Actually, I'm gonna look for specifically that. Uh, the current toss up in my algorithm right now is
Rob Thomas.
Skrillex. No, Skrillex released a new album on April Fool's Day.
Oh shit. Okay.
Fuck you, Skrillex. You think you're Andy Warhol, but you're not.
So, I will say I have not listened to Skrillex since last time I played Far Cry 3. There's something about listening to Skrillex while burning down somebody's weed farm. If you've played the game, you know that is just fucking satisfying. I've got to play that one again.
Um, but yeah, so for as much as I criticized dubstep when it first hit, I actually really enjoy Skrillex.
So do I. I was messing around on the electronic kit yesterday, and there's according to the, this is an electronic set, the computer, it says it's a techno setting. I was having quite a bit of fun with that, actually. It's been kind of my thing, because my timing's always been just a little bit off. It's been my thing lately. I'll spend a little bit of time on that electronic kit, just kind of playing with the metronome, trying to keep it succinct. So,
And,
we're
and
going to
see,
go
like
ahead.
I've always had really good timing.
See,
I
melody
mean,
is more my thing.
I as a person have a terrible sense of time, right?
Well, every time I watch you spark up a bowl, I want to light a cigarette. That probably doesn't help you any.
But so then, despite having a terrible sense of time, I've got a distinct sense of timing, which is great because I'm a bassist and a rhythm guitarist, and percussion when I've got access to it, right?
So I don't remember who it was, but somebody told me some musicians have a great sense of timing, and others have a great sense of melody. As you can't tell, I've been drinking heavily. I'm one of the ones that has a great sense of melody. I can generally pick out a melody, and when it comes to singing, I am in key without really trying. Mind you, I don't have any kind of formal music education. I was in high school band, but I was a percussionist. I don't understand how I don't have better timing. But I don't. I played xylophone a lot. Kind of shitty. But I can pick out a melody generally, and I am almost always in key. When it comes to timing, my timing's all kinds of fucked off. And it took a couple of people telling me that before I really started to realize they were right. Thanks, Rich.
And and meanwhile, I'm the guy drumming in 7 on his steering wheel in traffic on the drive home in rush hour.
Is that Philly rush hour?
Jersey. I live just outside of Philly, and I work good ways into Jersey.
The East Coast makes no sense to me because I live more or less in the Midwest, where states generally aren't that close together.
Yeah, so despite Pennsylvania's size, where I live, in the northeastern Philly burbs, the Delaware River is about a mile that way.
Okay.
So in 5 minutes drive from my house, I'm in Trenton, New Jersey, and Jersey itself is not that big.
You live in like one of the biggest East Coast states, but you lived in the cramped part. Got it.
Right, and Beanpole that we saw at the beginning here had a doctor's appointment in Delaware last week, and it was an hour and a half drive. Most of that was Philly rush hour traffic.
That sounds like so much fun.
And then on the way back, there was not only a Phil's game, but the Philadelphia Phillies baseball team.
Yeah.
So there was not only a Phil's game, but also a Disturbed concert.
It is surprising to me that Disturbed is still around.
David Draymond is apparently the humblest and most cool of rock stars.
According to every interview I have seen with him, which granted, not that big a Disturbed fan, but according to every interview I have seen, he really is. I listened to the full version of Down with the Sickness, and there's a couple parts in there that get kind of rough.
There's a couple parts in that get a little personal. Keep in mind
we're
that
talking
also
about the same
released
parts.
25 years ago.
Fair.
Right, so how old was David Draymond when they came out? Early to mid-20s?
Probably.
So, things have changed a little bit. They're, exploring other avenues and sounds. They've expanded a lot. They've matured.
Their cover of Sound of Silence, fucking amazing. I would rather listen
Disturbed
to that
owns
than
every cover they do.
They really do. I would rather listen to Disturbed's version of Sound of Silence than Simon and Garfunkel. He put so much more emotion into it than Simon and Garfunkel did.
Okay, I find myself agreeing with you.
The way you said that, I don't want to, but you're right.
Okay. Yeah.
That was just your tone of voice. The rare times that I play Sound of Silence, I tend to lean more towards the Disturbed version, at least vocally, because the way he did that was fucking amazing.
Look, there are definitely times where the cover is better than the original. And
It's rare,
okay,
but that's one of them.
absolutely. Absolutely. Disturbed Sound of Silence over Simon and Garfunkel's I'm Sorry, Simon and Garfunkel.
I like Simon and Garfunkel. I do. But gotta give this point to Disturbed.
All Along the Watchtower.
Okay. Well, I haven't asked you this question. What do you think of Bob Dylan?
Right, well, I guess without Bob Dylan, we would have had the Wallflowers now, would we?
I have Wallflowers on my work playlist, yes.
But so, I've never gone out of my way to put on Bob Dylan, but I've never gone out of my way to avoid Bob Dylan.
So, 90%
I
of the
appreciate the
musicians.
contributions he's made and the influences he's had on other musicians that I do enjoy.
So,
Which is not to say that I don't enjoy him, just I've got, a lack of depth of experience there.
so I would say 90% of the musicians I have asked have said, as a songwriter, Bob Dylan is fucking amazing. All Along the Watchtower, Wagon Wheel, and the list goes on.
Knocking on Heaven's Door.
Knocking on Heaven's Door. As a vocalist, let somebody else play your songs. That was pretty good. Blue Unicorn says, every time I play Sound of Silence, I get a copyright claim. Thank you, YouTube. I am allergic to Bob Dylan.
Well, Bob Dylan sounds like he's allergic to everything else, too.
Wagon Wheel is a Bob Dylan song. Knocking on Heaven's Door, like Cole said, a Bob Dylan song. Along the Watchtower, also a Bob Dylan song. He is a spectacular songwriter as long as someone else is playing the song. Because his voice is... I don't care much for his voice.
Sorry.
It's allergy season, we get it.
It's that time of year. And this is on allergy meds.
It could be worse. It could be Colorado. 70 degrees, 20 degrees, 50 degrees, 30 degrees. It's like Mother Nature out here smoking that shit.
PA is not a whole lot better. The mid-Atlantic is not a whole lot better.
How often do you drop below zero?
Most winters, actually.
Okay.
Not
So
not severely below zero, but most winters, if we don't get below zero, we are incredibly close, like single digits.
That week or two where my computer was kind of on the fritz, it was like negative 15 out.
Yeah.
I'm in a house where the heating system does not work. Which is
No,
why
I
my
mean, like,
computer was on. Come to find out, plugging a space heater into the same power strip as your computer, not a great idea.
not a great idea. But look, I'll admit to you, where you are gets a lot colder than where I am. There's also a big
I'm on the
humidity
plains, not in the mountains. Humidity is kind of a big deal. I don't have that usually. I'm on the plains. I get a lot of really insane snowstorms. Like, we'll have 6-foot snowdrifts.
Yeah.
And there will be a 1/4 inch of snow on the ground, except for those 6-foot snowdrifts. The wind out here is fucking crazy. Makes me want to go back to Fort Collins, where the wind is really no better. Fort Collins sits right in the Front Range. It's just past the foothills, so it gets all the mountain winds still, but no tornadoes. It's close enough to the Rockies that there's no tornadoes. To anyone who thinks, oh, Colorado is so beautiful above the mountains, very little of Colorado is actually mountains. We're talking like 10%. Then you've got the Great Plains. We're not going to talk about the Western Slope. We are not going to talk about the Western Slope, because the Western Slope is a shithole. So, we've been going for about an hour 45, and I'm pretty sure the last 20 minutes is just us going off on tangents.
Bullshitting.
Blue Unicorn, who lives in Fort Collins, says, nope, tornadoes on the east side of I-25. Fort Collins is on the west side of I-25.
It's close.
We're talking 4 lanes of traffic is the differentiating factor. So, I'm going to go ahead and call the stream here. Next week, we're going to be going into Rob Thomas. Most people know him as you're in Loveland. I thought you were in Fort Collins, but I mean, they've kind of grown into each other, so it's not that different. Next week, we're going to go into Rob Thomas. Most people know him as the vocalist for Matchbox 20. I'm going to